Flying with the Eagle, bringing home the messages of Eagle Books.
The Eagle wants people to be healthy and not get this disease called diabetes.
Miss Rabbit's telling them to eat like a plate full of colors of vegetables and fruits.
I was there when the books were just storyboards, and I saw them grow into this wonderful, tool that is used all across Indian country.
I'm in a mentoring program, so I think that could really work. There'll be the smaller kids that will have the books, and then the older kids will read them with the younger kids.
Eagle Books are a way for us to get our messages out to our children.
The Eagle Books teach that by making good choices, it's possible to delay the onset or prevent the development of type 2 diabetes. And now there are more ways that the Eagle's messages can be brought to families and communities.
That's when the dances. That's the bald eagle.
Then there's the butterfly.
There's the butterfly.
In 2008, the original paintings from the Eagle Books were displayed at the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. and in New York City.
And I just saw it for the first time, and it's very moving. It hits really close to home in Native communities because it's about a Native boy, dealing with our learning about the effects that diabetes cause, with the foods that they weren't eating, but looking back and hearing the wise eagle telling him about what could heal the people.
On this beautiful day, with the sky so blue, Rain that Dances was fishing along a small stream near his home. He waited for the fish to bite. He saw a great bald eagle.
The exhibit introduced many people to the Eagle Books, but one of the visitors to the Smithsonian exhibit was already very familiar with them, the son of Eagle Books author, Georgia Perez.
Well, my understanding is that my mother was submitting photos of her grandchildren kind of to get an idea of the characters. And it just so happens that the main character, Rain That Dances, so much resembles my oldest son, Nathan. And so it is a shock to walk around the exhibit and see his face.
The Smithsonian exhibit marked the beginning of a national tour of the Eagle Books art. At the same time that the Eagle Books exhibit was opening at the Smithsonian, the Keweenaw Bay Indian Community, Lake Superior Band of Chippewa Indians in Michigan, was launching the first Eagle Books community outreach event. There was a community fun fest, a health fair, talking circles, and storytelling in local elementary schools.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, wonderful. Now I'm going to share with you some stories.
Stories span generations. Their ability to be remembered, shared, and retold make them a powerful way to pass along knowledge. Knowledge that helps children solve the problems of today and understand that their future is bright.
A lot of the important stories that are shared in Native culture are not written down. They're always told orally. And I think it's great that they carry on that tradition. And I hope that my kids will someday share the stories of the Eagle Books.
The main themes or the threads that wove through all of the different communities is storytelling. Storytelling is a traditional means of education that fits young and old alike, And it's something that will be sustained by the communities. Having the Eagle books with their news stories about diabetes and about health are a sustainable means of keeping that message alive in the communities and starting that message with the very young children.
The stories, really provide the message that we want people to learn, to eat healthy, to exercise every day, to, take care of your body, to watch out for the bumps in the road. And so it is really good. We can use it with our Head Start class, we can use it in the elementary schools, and even with some of our older groups, our talking circles. Our adults are very interested in learning new things, but knowing what the children are learning too.
The Keweenaw Bay organizers also used resources available from local colleges and held activities during the annual Spirit of the Harvest powwow. This planning made promotion easier and helped increase the number of people reached.
Native American people come to this event. The children are here. This is an excellent place to spread the word about the Eagle Books Project and their important message. We'll definitely have some sort of diabetes information or prevention at our powwow forever now. So thank you.
The Eagle Books also inspire people to develop projects that meet the needs of local children and families. For instance, 2 elementary schools in Keweenaw Bay are building on the Eagle's messages by working with students to create a nature trail around their school.
Getting kids active, that was a real big part of the Eagle Books, and getting kids active and talking about diabetes education. So number one, when we come out here, they get out, they're moving around, and I think that meets one of the goals for that project.
And the other one it meets is the balance. They tend to see how we impact nature out here, the good things we do, the bad things we do, and what an equal balance would be. And the Nature Eagle Books talk quite a bit about our balance with nature and our balance in our bodies and making choices with balance in them. And so they really have a great opportunity out here to just see the balance and see the choices they're making.
The next Eagle Books community event and the next stop of the Eagle Books art tour was in New Mexico, where the Eagle Books were born. The original Eagle Books paintings were displayed at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center in Albuquerque. Community leaders and educators used this opportunity to promote health and wellness exhibits at the Cultural Center and outreach activities in local Pueblo schools. The event organizers invited Lorelei Decora to Albuquerque as a special guest to conduct Eagle Books talking circles for children. Lorelei pioneered the use of talking circles to promote diabetes prevention and management.
There's one aspect of Native communities that is all-powerful, and that's our children. No one can get the Indian community to change faster than our children. And when the children learn through the eyes of the eagle and through these 4 books, they are going to change their families. And that's what's powerful to me about the Eagle Book messages.
The Albuquerque event organizers also invited another special guest, Caitlin Baker, a young athlete who is inspiring Native children to embrace healthy living.
Well, I'm Caitlin Baker. I run my own nonprofit called Caitlin B. It stands for Competitive American Indians Turning Lifestyles into New Beginnings. And no, my mom did not plan that when I was born. And what I do is I talk to Native American youth and Native kids about wellness and diabetes. And since I'm a swimmer, I've been swimming for 5 years, and I'm a competitive swimmer at the elite level, and swimming is my passion. I try to tell kids about diabetes and kind of how prevalent it is in our community and how that it is preventable. And just because your parents have it, just because your grandparents have it, doesn't mean you're going to get it. When I talk to kids, I get that certain kind of feedback from them. I think it's because they're listening to another youth. But, I do have experiences with other kids who feel that hopelessness, that the feeling of, I'm going to get it, and I just kind of want to reverse that and I just want to tell them that there is hope still, and that you can, like me, I have to be twice as active just because I'm Native. And I just kind of want to make that positive outreach to youth.
In addition to communities in Keweenaw Bay and New Mexico, other tribes like the Confederated Tribes in Pendleton, Washington, the Winnebagos in Nebraska, and Sioux tribal members living in Sioux City, Iowa, have hosted Eagle Books outreach campaigns or sponsored Eagle Books distribution and promotional events. Many others, including Alaskan villages and rancherias in California, have conducted Eagle Books talking circles, and some tribes like the Chickasaws and Standing Rock Sioux have participated in the development of Eagle Books materials and activities. Families can use the toolkit materials to entertain the kids while they learn about being healthy. Health educators can use the toolkit to create displays in local health clinics or recreation centers. Tribes can insert their native languages into the toolkit's book templates to make the Eagle Books their very own. And teachers will find the toolkit a great source of ideas for the classroom, especially those who are using diabetes prevention curricula. In Albuquerque, Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute featured the popular national curriculum, the K-12 Diabetes Education in Tribal Schools program, or DETS, as part of the outreach events. DETS incorporates the Eagle Books into its kindergarten through 4th grade activities. The DETS curriculum is available free of charge for all schools with American Indian and Alaskan Native populations.
And teachers sign up, and so they incorporate it into their PE classes, health classes, home ec, those types of classes. And we want to start with the younger people so that they will learn, and as children learn, their parents also learn.
Most importantly, the Eagle Books Toolkit materials are designed to help communities choose their own pathway to expressing the value of healthy traditions, the importance of eating healthy foods, staying active, and making wise food choices.
Diabetes is prevalent, it's really high among us as Native people, and it's sad. But at the same time, you look at our culture and the way that we're taught, and we were actually basically taught to take from the earth what was needed. My advice to a lot of Native people, the younger generation, is, go back to your culture and your dancing. Go back to, your idea of the old ways in the way that we're taught to run. We're taught to dance. We're taught to be out there, chasing lizards, whatever it may be. And you can understand why kids start eating donuts, why they start drinking a lot of soda and eating potato chips, the process, because it's good. But if we instilled in our children that this is important, this is what we need to live a long life, that I think that's important, to live a long life, not the idea of, eat this and eat that and not know the boundaries of what it's going to cause later on in life.
At Keweenaw Bay, the community chose to emphasize the message of healthy eating by focusing on feasts of traditional foods to show how good these foods can be.
And at feast, you might see a wild rice that's mixed with venison, another one mixed with vegetables. And we have a really wonderful dessert wild rice where it's mixed with berries and maple syrup. And it's really wonderful, and it's served cold usually. There was an evolution of food and cuisine before the Europeans as well. There was a time when Ojibwe people probably didn't use corn, and then they did. And there was a time they didn't use certain vegetables that might have been imported from somewhere else, or that became part of the foodstuffs with trade.
We are recognizing the promotion of prevention and wellness, meaning that we need to keep ourselves healthy before the fact. And that includes living a healthier lifestyle, which includes home-prepared meals from community gardens, approaching our traditional food sources once again, as our ancestors have done for generations upon generations.
Children, parents, teachers, healthcare workers, community leaders, all have the power to make a difference in preventing type 2 diabetes. Many tribal members right at home possess the unique talents, experiences, and commitment that can bring about change.
One of my grandsons, he read the Eagle books, and one day he came home and he said, "Grandma, you know, some of the food that they feed us at my school, it's not good for us."
Right.
But I'm only in kindergarten and they won't listen to me. But I know it's not good for us. If the kids tell the parents are the ones who can make change. Because that's what we did when he said that. We all went down there to the school board meeting.
With angry parents.
Yeah.
Well, what I talked about his kids also is that they have a voice, and that, you know, they have a part in this world, and that we're not, you know, people tell the youth that they're the leaders of tomorrow, but that's not true. We're the leaders of today, and that we need to make a difference today in our lives. And it's different when you talk to Native kids, because I know I can go up to my tribal headquarters and knock on the door of my chief, and he'll be there. And if he's not there, my second chief will be there. And, you know, I have somebody to talk to.
Outreach events help communities use their own power. Some effects of an outreach event, school program, or story will be felt immediately. Others will come years down the road. Change takes time, but it can be achieved through the choices that communities and families learn to make together.
A really cute story came to us from our tribal librarian, and she had introduced the books to her grandchildren. They decided that somebody who tells you should have less healthy snacks or sometimes foods is a coyote, after Mr. Coyote and Tricky Treats. So later on, when Grandma wanted to give them, I believe it was a soda, they said, "Oh no, Grandma, you're being a coyote." So yes, we have seen evidence of that in the families. We've seen it to some extent in the schools too.
The people hold the answers. Whatever our traditional beliefs are as a people, because each nation has their own, that the actual solution to building that diabetes-free future comes from our traditions. And then we merge it with the science of diabetes and how to prevent it. And if we can do that together, we'll be effective to the people we're reaching because we embrace who they are.
Type 2 diabetes can be prevented. Adults may make the decisions, but children have a powerful influence too. CDC's Native Diabetes Wellness Program is pleased to support your community by providing Eagle Books and Eagle Books toolkits for families and communities. All are free of charge and available on CD or for download from the web. Use these wonderful materials to communicate the Eagle's message of hope and to encourage the telling of new stories about healthy, active living. To learn more about how your community can obtain Eagle Books or the Eagle Books Toolkit, or how to order the K-12 Diabetes Education in Tribal Schools curriculum, you'll find information at these websites. Check the CDC website often to learn about new books and materials.